Bay last spring. It truly is a blessing, sir. Rocky, momentarily disoriented by the 7-leaf clover detail, froze. Credit chip hovering precariously over the terminal. 7 leaves, not just one rare anomaly, but 7. What kind of cosmic genetic mutation are we dealing with here? And why, for the love of the galactic core, is such profound botanical rarity associated with his most challenging subordinate? That's fine, Bumble, Rocky gritted out, battling an irrational urge to search his office for, said Clover. Glad to hear you're enjoying your enlistment. Now, if you'll just collect your... But Bart, a self-winding automaton of positivity, was already in full flow, his words tumbling out like freshly harvested lumiflora from the fertile idyllic fields of his home planet. And I also wanted to say, about the victuals you've been serving down at the nutrient paste dispensary, well, they've just been something else. Wonderfully cooked, they have been. Truly a culinary delight, if I do say so myself. Take last night, for instance. We had those recycled nutrient paste. Why, I went back for seconds, and there was still so much left over. I do believe I could have had thirds if I'd have wanted to. Golly, they were delicious. Sergeant, pure ambrosia from the cosmos. They were... Rocky's eye twitched so violently his vision blurred. Nutrient paste croquette. The nutrient paste croquette, infamous throughout the Andromeda sector for their universal blandness, their uncanny resemblance to solidified grey sludge, tasting of existential despair and recycled air. The very idea of someone returning for seconds, let alone contemplating thirds, sent a chill colder than absolute zero down his already beleaguered spine. Was Bart's perception so utterly disconnected from objective reality, or did his taste buds operate on some unique, joyful cosmic frequency, unfathomable to mere mortals? That's fine, Bumble. Now if you'll just collect your credits and cease your gastronomic rave reviews, as I have other matters to attend to. Rocky's words were a struggle, each syllable an internal battle against the absurdity of the situation. And them new memory foam mattress covers that we got in last cycle. Why, if I was staying at the finest 0G luxury resort in this whole sector, I couldn't ask for any better comfort. Bart continued, completely immune to Rocky's thinly veiled exasperation. His eyes were wide with unblemished sincerity, fixed on some internal, plush vision. My spine feels like it's floating on a cloud made of stardust, Sergeant, a cloud woven from pure, cosmic bliss. Rocky, utterly defeated, could only stare. Those memory foam mattress covers were, in reality, nothing more than standard thinly padded sleeping mats, notoriously uncomfortable, prone to developing suspicious lumps, and carrying the faint, recycled odor of 1,000 restless nights. Yet, to Bart, they were the epitome of galactic luxury, a testament to the Alliance's boundless care for its enlisted men. It was either an admirable, almost zen-like level of contentment, Rocky mused, or a profoundly disturbing and utterly undiagnosable lack of discerning taste and critical sensory perception. Good, Bumble, good, Rocky muttered, massaging his temples with both hands, contemplating the deep philosophical implications of Bart's existence. Next, he barked, a command that felt more like a desperate plea, an attempt to conjure a less emotionally taxing recruit through sheer vocal force. Bart, however, interpreted the abrupt command not as dismissal, but as a courteous acknowledgement of the sergeant's overwhelming responsibilities. Well, I can see you're busy, Sergeant, sir, with all this important Alliance paperwork, so I'll just see you next month. Take care now, Sergeant. Don't work too hard. He executed another sharp, heartfelt salute, his smile radiating with a blinding purity that somehow felt both endearing and incredibly annoying. He exited the office, leaving behind a silence that felt unusually loud, heavy with the lingering echo of his boundless optimism. Private Lenny Lefty Loftus, a wiry young man whose anxiety levels generally mirrored chatterbox slipped into the office as soon as Bart had cleared the doorway. Lefty cast a worried glance after Bart. That's a long time between paydays, isn't it, Sergeant? For Bumble, I mean. And that's the absolute, unvarnished truth. Lefty, Rocky, sighed, already reaching for his hidden flask of illegal cigarette. He poured a generous measure of the burning liquid, grimacing as it hit his throat. His headache, freshly ignited by Bart's unyielding positivity, was now a dull roar, promising a protracted battle against administrative duties and the peculiar charm of Private Bartholomew Bumble. His personal odyssey of exasperation, he knew, had only just begun. Meanwhile, in the slightly disheveled confines of Barracks 47, Bart Bumble, oblivious to the existential turmoil he routinely caused, was already enthusiastically unspooling his payday plans. His newly credited datapad, clutched in his hand, seemed to pulse with an almost sacred energy. Chet Chatterbox Chastain, usually a bundle of jitters, momentarily transcended his neurosis, allowing himself a rare flicker of swagger. "All right, fellas, here's my plan," Chet declared, brandishing his glowing datapad like a weapon. "First, I snagged my Liberty Pass from the quartermaster. Then I borrow Loftus's Grav Cruiser. He owes me for that losing poker game last week. You see, so it's practically already mine. And then it's straight to the Starlight drive-through crater. I heard that place is just crawling with wild-looking chicks, all gussied up in their retrogalactic attire, ready for some fun. Maybe even a casual anti-gravity hoverist down the boulevard." Lefty Loftus, despite the outstanding Grav Cruiser debt, couldn't resist a sardonic jab. "Really, Chatterbox? And what makes you so sure any of them will even talk to you? Your charm, like your poker skills, is highly questionable." Chet puffed out his chest, undeterred by the insult. "They have to, Lefty. They're the order. Remember, galactic car hops, it's in their programming to engage. I'll just keep ordering deep-fried neutron nuggets and ionized algae shakes until I've got enough time to charm one of them into giving me their comlink. It's foolproof, a meticulously calculated maneuver. It is." Suddenly, the sliding door of the barracks opened, and Private Thaddeus Duke Dalton, Duke, a grizzled veteran of 3 enlistments in the peacekeeping force, possessed the cynical weariness of an ancient space hermit and perpetually smelled faintly of recycled space coffee. He leaned against the doorframe, observing their animated discussion with mild, world-weary amusement. "Well, there you are, fellas," Duke drawled, his voice a low, raspy rumble. "I wondered where you all went after nutrient-paste distribution. Listen, Bart," he said, turning his gaze to Bumble, a rare moment of direct, almost paternal address. "I'm going into the Orbital Billiards Emporium later to meet some local space. Word on the comlink is the Martian Marauders pinball machine attracts quite a crowd of them, especially those who appreciate a man with skill and credits." He held up his own datapad, indicating his freshly received allotment. "You want to come along? Might be good for you to experience some authentic galactic culture." Bart, however, just shook his head, his smile unwavering, radiating an almost impenetrable shield of prior commitment. "Thanks a lot, Duke. I surely appreciate the invitation. I do. But my plans are already made. I have them all meticulously written down on my data slate here." He gestured to his hip where a small, worn data slate was holstered. "First of all, I'm going to write a nice, long letter home to Aunt Clara and Uncle Ezra on telling them all about the delicious nutrient-paste croquettes and the comfy new mattress covers. And then, I'm going over to the Interstellar Emporium. They're having a grand star sale on some of them new anti-gravity shower clogs, and I thought I'd pick me up a couple of pairs." Chet and Lefty exchanged incredulous, wide-eyed glances. Duke merely blinked slowly, as if processing an exceptionally complex alien equation, one that had no logical solution. The raw, unadulterated purity of Bart's plan seemed to short-circuit their more cynical minds. "Bart," Duke began, struggling to suppress a groan, a common verbal slip due to Bart's endless supply of quaint, old-world Terabell sayings and his seemingly Gomer-esque, "You're not going to spend your whole payday buying anti-gravity shower clogs, are you? That seems an excessive investment." Bart nodded gravely, as if explaining a profound cosmic truth that resonated with the very fabric of the universe. "But I have to, Duke. My other pair's gotten a little warped from the hydroponics bay humidity. And you know what they say back home on good hygiene starts from the feet on up. Can't be tracking any noxious space molds into the living quarters. Now can we? That would be an affront to cleanliness and a risk to all personnel." Duke just stared for another beat, then slowly turned to his 2 equally bewildered comrades. He sighed, a sound that conveyed the accumulated weariness of 1,000 solar cycles. "All right then, But that's the way you want it, I suppose.